I thought the hard part was showing up again. Turns out the hard part starts after the clapping stops. Because once you're back, the room doesn't adjust. Here's the thing. It never does. The room doesn't care about your backstory. It doesn't care about how long it took you to get here. It doesn't care about this version of you that's still loading. The pace stays the pace. The bar stays where it is. And suddenly you're standing there, trying to perform like the old you, with a body that's, let's be honest, still negotiating. So you do what most people do. You try to keep everything. Same habits, same expectations, same intensity. You tell yourself, I'll just push through it. I'll catch up. And for a moment, that works. Until it doesn't. And nobody really prepares you for that moment. Because at some point, pushing harder stops being courageous and turns into something else. Not dramatic or not obvious, just quietly expensive. You pay for it in recovery, in focus, in consistency. Progress stops compounding. And that's what diminishing returns looks like. You're still working, you're just getting less back. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Effort usually isn't the issue. It's the decisions around it. And this is where it stops being about training, or sports, or recovery. Because this pattern shows up everywhere. At work, where expectations don't move. In leadership, where responsibility stays fixed. In relationships, where energy still gets spent. Or in health, where the bill always comes due. So here's the thing. Everyone hits a phase where the rules change, but the scoreboard doesn't. And that's why this phase hits so hard. Because you realize you can't win everything anymore. Not right now, not in this season. Because letting go feels like failing. Even when it's actually the smartest move you could make. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this part rarely gets named. We love stories about discipline, about grit, about pushing through. We're much quieter about the moment you admit that some walls aren't made to be broken, but navigated. Because that feels personal. Here's what most people only realize later. Growth doesn't always come from adding more. Sometimes it means stopping sooner. There's a moment where it clicks that doing everything isn't ambition anymore. It's a stall. So you're forced to choose. Not between good and bad, but between what looks good and what holds up under pressure. This is what most people miss. Reducing options isn't lowering standards. It sharpens them. It's saying, I don't need to be good at everything anymore. I need to be effective where it counts. And that comes with a trade-off. You might look worse at first, less comfortable, less certain. That in-between phase is real. And almost nobody warns you about it. This stage isn't about proving anything. It's about choosing deliberately. What stays, what goes? Because not every strength deserves your energy. Not every habit deserves your loyalty. And not every battle deserves your presence. Here's what this phase actually asks of you. Clarity. I don't need to be impressive right now. I need to be intentional. Because in moments like this, progress doesn't come from doing more. It comes from choosing better. And standing by that choice when it costs you comfort. No easy rounds. Today is January 31st. This is Fightready, and there's 35 days left.